Hey, it's the end of day one at the International Builder Show in KBIZ. Look who I ran into, the most famous architect in America.
I don't think that's true, but
Bob, you know it's true. Life of an Architect. Everybody watching this has been reading Life of an Architect for years.
I hope so. It's fun to do. It's a lot of work.
Bob, how many page, what's the metric for blogs? I don't even remember anymore. Page views a month.
Page views a month. Last time I checked, it's probably around, let's see if I can do the math. I stopped adding it up about 5 years ago. It's probably around 3 million a month page.
3 million page views a month. I've been blogging since 2008, Bob. I get 30,000 a month.
Well, you should talk about toilets more often because people really like toilets. So,
all right, Bob. So you've been walking around all day. I've seen your Twitter feed. You've seen some crazy stuff already. What's the most off the wall thing you've seen so far?
I will say what surprised me is how big all the vendor booths here.
Yeah.
You know, this is the first time I've come to this show.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and most of the shows that I've gone to have been, you know, the National AIE Convention or the Texas Society of Architects Convention, and those are really well done and well executed, but the scale of this is so much larger. I think I read somewhere that they expect 80,000 people at this show, and the show floor demonstrates that.
So, all right, so back to the show then, Bob. A lot of young architects follow both you and I. In fact, I just met one of my fans who's at Ball State, getting his 6-year, a 4+2 program in architecture. Okay. It's really fun meeting those young architects and have them follow me. And I always ask him, hey, do you follow the Life Architect blog too? And of course, he knew you and follows your blog too. What advice from a kind of a trade show perspective would you give anybody who's kind of young in the architecture world, or young builders, frankly, when it comes to shows like this?
Well, you know, it'd probably be really easy to become overwhelmed. I mean, there's so much information here that I would probably say don't try to walk away thinking that you've learned everything, or see, just try to see stuff. Yep. You know, that's it. Yeah, just see as much as you can. And even if it's like, even if you don't have to engage with the people who are running the booths, you know, that you don't have to have questions, just see that something exists, right? Because I think that as people start to understand what they're looking at, then they start formulating questions. And there's so much traffic here and there's so many people moving around that I don't think that people should feel self-conscious if they don't understand what a product is or how it works or its best application. If you want to know, they will tell you. Oh, yeah. And they will love to tell you.
Yes, they will.
They will love it. Now, on the other side of that coin, I could say, don't make eye contact, because then they have you, right? That's the other tip. If you don't want to talk to them, don't make eye contact. Just keep your head down.
That's actually a life skill, I think, Bob, the don't make eye contact.
It might be a life skill.
Yeah, that's for all professions, all trade shows, everywhere.
It's part of the design process includes creating a narrative. Like, I think architects are good storytellers. For sure. And, well, clearly that's a skill you have as well. Yeah.
Telling stories.
And it's all about the story. And these people come up, and I'll say, you know, you could do exactly what I'm doing. You just got to do it. Yeah, that's the secret, right?
Commit to it.
That's life, right? You just got to do it.
And I think that's frankly why you and I, well, now we have different followings. I've got more people on YouTube, but you've got 500,000 Facebook followers and 3 million people that are reading your blog. But the people that are reading our stuff, I think, have some kinsmanship to us, and they kind of are interested in what it's like. And it's interesting, too, that you and I both have a lot of followers that are 20-plus years younger than we are. Because, you know, one of my big mentors in my life was Tom Silva, but the only place I got to see him when I was a 17-year-old was when I was watching This Old House on PBS.
Right. Yeah, you know, well, for the record, I'm in my mid-30s. And, well, one of the things I think that your site does really well, and one of the things that what I try to accomplish is that there's kind of a culture to what we do. Mm-hmm. And people who are interested in doing or becoming an architect, becoming a builder, there's not a lot of, they can see the end product, but they don't understand the process. Right. They don't understand necessarily the attention that goes into the type of work that you do or the type of work that I do. Exactly. And I think it's hard to appreciate something unless you can understand it. Right? I mean, you can look at something at the end product and go, wow, that looks really great. But if you knew what it took to get to what that is, you understand it better, and therefore you can appreciate it in a different kind of manner. And in a very self-serving way, the better somebody can appreciate something, the more likely they are to hire you to put that type of effort in to create something for them. And I think that's part of the difference between, you know, I'm not a production architect. And I'm not the low-cost provider, but what I do tell people is if you work with someone like me, doesn't have to be me, but you know, someone who does what I do for a living, It's about the process, and I want them to be involved. This isn't one of these things where they show up and they say, I want a house, and they leave and they come back in however long, and I go, here's the finished product. I want them to say, I want this, or I don't like that, or, can we make this better? I want that back and forth, because unless you have skin in the game, you don't have an ownership, right? And so your videos, my telling stories, my showing whatever, helps educate people on what we do, and hopefully leads to appreciation for what anybody who's an architect or a builder does.
I think so, and I think we're kind of humanizing that world, because people see those incredible magazine photos, and they think either just hire an architect or just hire a builder, but they don't know the process, and it's some serious effort to get to that end product.
Like, one of the things I saw today was locking pocket door hardware, and I was like, I only have like one or two lines of hardware that I look at to lock a sliding pocket door, and I don't like the ones when the door is fully open. You have a little tab at the back, because I saw that for a couple years and I didn't even know what it was, and all of a sudden I'm in the bathroom messing with it, and I go, hey, I think I know what this is for now. Now I get it.
Now it's clear.
Yeah, and so I wanted to find a line of hardware that didn't cost $800 a unit in order to lock and be nice and look the way it needs to look. The other thing that I've been impressed by is how far the artificial, composite materials have come along in their appearance. There's a lot now that you can look at it and go, that looks just like a Carrara marble or a Calicata marble, and not necessarily know that it's not, and you don't have the maintenance issues that you would have if you had we all love those products, but these ones are low maintenance and they're very easy to get a hold of, and they're very consistent in their manufacturing process. And that's something that I was really excited to see.
Hey, for someone who doesn't know Bob, though, or you're not familiar with, tell all these guys watching how they can follow your blog and follow your work.
Well, it's pretty easy. So all you got to do is go to lifeofanarchitect.com. And the whole premise of that website is to talk about what it's like to be an architect, what it's like to work with an architect, or if you're considering about being an architect, like, how does that work? What kind of things would you need to know? Awesome. So the range of people that I get fifth graders and I get 80-year-old people.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right? So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Have a great show, man. I'll see you back in Texas.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.